Ba Rwanda Thousand Stories TV. Watangira utwibwira witwa nde?
Nitwa Tevegi turuka muri Malaysia.
Yego.
Eh,
Twishimiye kukumenya.
nishimiye kukumenya nawe.
Thanks a lot for trying some Kinyarwanda. By starting our conversation, we would like you to introduce yourself.
Sure. Thank you for having me in this video. My name is Tevegi Tiruchelvam, but everyone call me T in short. I'm from Malaysia. I've been in Rwanda for about a year now. I came for work, but I am really, really grateful to be here in this beautiful country, not only for work, but also to experience the culture, the activities that we have here in this country, especially the views. Rwanda has the most amazing sunset and sunrise views. So it's been an amazing 1 year for me.
Oh, 1 year, it's a lot.
Yeah.
You've seen a lot of things.
Yeah, I have experienced a lot of things. I have, meet a lot of people as well. I've joined some group activities around Rwanda, mostly in Kigali, but I've also done, road trips to on the west side of the country, east side of the country, Rwamagana, Musanze, Rubengera, Karongi, Butare. So I've been quite a lot around the country as well.
Yes, I understand. Oh, what was your expectations before you came in Rwanda? So maybe you had Rwanda on newspaper, on the media.
Yeah.
What was your expectation?
Yeah, so expectation, I think I didn't have a lot of expectation, but I always wanted to come to the continent to experience. I love traveling, so I've been traveled to other part of the world, but it's my first time coming to the continent. So I've always wanted to come, but the expectation was really, what you see in the media, like, it is not developed. A lot of people are struggling, that kind of what media basically shows. So that was really different than what I experienced, I would say. Yeah.
So you've been just thinking about coming in the continent, and maybe you have those expectations from media, and now you are in Rwanda. You have some experience.
Yeah.
So do you have some you would like to share with us?
Yeah, for sure. So it's a lot of things that people share in media. Don't trust it 100%. Like you have to come and see it for yourself and experience it for yourself, because what I saw in media and what I really see, especially in Rwanda, is something very, very beautiful. The people are amazing. Very, how do I say, people encourage peace here. I don't see people shouting, or they don't fight on the street or anything. I've never seen anything of that. It's just a mahoro, right? People just be very polite, and they talk not only to me, but I understand I'm a foreigner. Sometimes you can say that people treat foreigners different, and people treat local people different. But in Rwanda, what I see is even among Rwandese, they don't fight. I don't see that happening. It's very peace, and even if someone is not happy with another person, they try to talk it out, and they just just walk away, or they don't exaggerate that to another level to like fight in the street or anything. I've never seen any fight on the street in this 1 year, and that's something I really appreciate in this country. Yeah.
Oh, that's was about everyday life, how you feel like you're secure, and you feel comfortable with the places. And do you have some other kind of experience in different sectors, like you just tell us about like culture, like food, like art, something like that? You have some
Yeah.
experience on that?
Yeah, for sure. So when I first came to Rwanda, right? My experience in terms of the security, I was like always in alert. I try to be very careful about where I go, what I do, and everything. I remember the first time I wanted to take the moto, I was so scared because there was no tracking or anything like that. I just got into a moto and they just bring me, right? So I was like asking myself, like, how they bring me somewhere else, or because I wasn't able to have a decent conversation. I didn't know Kenya Rwanda at that time, right? I mean, even still now I'm still learning, but to have that conversation and to tell them exactly the place I want to go was really hard. But then I showed them map and I tell them like this is where it is, near to some place or some landmark, right? And then I had to really try a couple of times, to really have that trust, right? Okay, they are going to bring me to this place, I can trust them, right? But now, like, everywhere I go, I just use the moto. Like, it's very safe. I feel super safe. Like, I don't feel like someone's gonna attack me or anything like that. No. No, I never felt that after like the first few incident that I had. Like, the trust was built after that. Yeah.
Tell us about food.
Oh, food. Okay, so I really love Nyamachoma. Nyamachoma is basically, for some people who's watching this video that do not know Kenya Rwanda yet. Nyamachoma is basically a goat leg. They barbecue the goat leg and they give this really nice side with it. It's like a chimichurri, but it's made of onion, tomatoes, and coriander, I think. It's so good with Nyamachoma. So it's goat leg barbecued, and I think it's called kachumbari, right? So you eat it together.
Kachumbari, yes, they bring with the kachumbari. It's a mixture of onions, chili.
So that's something that I really, really love in Rwanda. Like, it's so good because I think the quality of the meat is there as well, Be it, even if you eat beef or chicken or goat meat, the quality of the meat you can really see. And I think it's because what they feed the goat or beef with as well, cows as well. And it's also like you can see Rwanda is pretty hilly. So I think, the cows and like the goat, they have really good exercise as well. So the meat are really lean and really nice to eat. Yeah.
Yeah. Where to go in Kigali especially?
Nyamachoma, I've had in Sundowner before. Sundowner in Kimihurura, yes. But I've also had in when I was visiting Rubenjera, Karonji. I also had Nyamachoma there before. Even the place that I'm living here, Batsinda. So I live in Batsinda. There is a place we call it Ahani place. It's a local place. So they make really good nyamachoma as well. So we like to go there and just.
So you like hanging out with the friends?
Yeah, of course.
Do you have some places you would like to mention?
I really like going to. So there is a cafe in Gachuriro. It's a cafe called Maka Cafe. So this is basically a Yemenese restaurant though, but it's not but they also have like some local drinks and all that. But what's beautiful about this place is that they have a feel like a garden right in front of the restaurant. So sometimes we just bring our picnic mat and just sit there, and we also bring our own food and just do a picnic there. So we really, really like that place. Our friend, we always hang out there. Just soaking in the beautiful sun, I also, you're asking in terms of food or?
Where to go out.
To go out, okay. Yeah. So for me, apart from, enjoying food with my friends, I also love arts. I love making imigongos. So for those of you guys wants to know the culture or the art in Rwanda, Imigongo is a traditional art. I think Jean-Pierre can tell more about it, but I always go to Azizi Life to make my own set of Imigongos, which I can share with you guys later as well. It's basically made of cow dung and ashes, where you can make your own pattern and then you paint on top of it, right, once it's dried. So I've learned a lot from Jean-Pierre on the techniques on how to smoothen the art, what kind of creativity you can basically infuse in making the art as well, right? So that's one thing that I really, really love doing. I think Rwanda is a place where you can learn a lot of skills as well. In this 1 year, I think I've learned how to make imigongos, like I've mentioned. I've learned how to make pots using clays. I also have taken tailoring class. Basically, this is something that I made myself. It's made of kitenge. So kitenge is also
You made that by
yeah, I
yourself?
made this.
Wow, it looks amazing.
Yeah.
People
So
should have a look. Let me bet.
yeah, so I took the tailoring class here in Rwanda, and so I
Wow.
made this as well. I bought this. I bought this kitenge. Kitenge is a traditional cotton.
In Africa in general, like
In general,
yeah, like Congo, West Africa, they have a lot of kitenge.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you can know from the pattern. Like they have a very traditional pattern as well in the clothing that they have. But I think in different part of Africa they have different name for it, right?
Yes.
I think in Nigeria they call Ankara.
Mhm.
Ankara, right?
I
And
didn't know
then-
that.
Yeah, they call it Ankara in Nigeria. I think in Tanzania they have another word, Kanga, is it?
Ikanga. Yeah.
Ikanga.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a different word for it, but it's basically mean the same, like, similar type of clothes. Yeah, so that's another skill that I learned from Rwanda. What else did I learn? I learned the language. I try to speak as much as I can. I can't expect them to speak my local language, right? I am in Rwanda, so I need to speak the language, right?
Tell me a few words in Kinyarwanda, your favorite one.
Ndagukunda. Yeah, Nkunda Nyarwanda. It means I love Rwanda.
Ndakukunda means
What-
I love you.
Yes, that's what it means. It's a very, very nice word, actually. I
Some
really
few
like it.
other words.
Ndagukumbi, I miss you. Amakuru, makuru ni meza. Imana ibahe umugisha. It means God bless you. I hear this a lot in the street, like, even if I take moto, or they also have bicycle service. Like if I don't want to go too far, like if I just want to go from my condominium to like my apartment to there is a bicycle service as well in a lot of umudugudu, means villages, right? So every time I take these services, they always send me off by saying Imana Ibahe Umegisha.
God bless you.
Yes, they always tell me that, so I learned that as well. So every time I take these services, I also tell people the same, so it's a very nice gesture, I would say.
There is another one when you're talking about the price. Which one do you use?
Nangae.
Gabanya.
Huh?
Gabanya.
Gabanya?
Yeah, it's like, oh, that's a lot.
Oh, there's a lot, like
That
reduced, right?
reduced,
Yeah, so I try
Gabanya.
to negotiate a lot too. Actually, that's one experience I would like to share is that, when I first came, people used to charge me a lot. Like, I didn't know that I was paying too much until I started to, talk with my local friends. And then they always tell me, why do you pay so much for that, right? And then I'm like, I didn't know how to negotiate. So I also started to learn the amount in Kinyarwanda, like magana rindwi, magana nane, ijiumbi. So I try to, pick up some words for the prices as well. So I try to negotiate. So whenever I try to negotiate, the people they just laugh, and then they've got no choice but they laugh because I'm trying, right? So yeah, so those are some really beautiful memories I have in Rwanda.
Yeah. So, is there something you think that your country should learn from Rwanda?
I think there's a lot, starting from the peace, how people just value peace, people prioritize peace here. I think that is something that not only my country but the whole world have to learn from Rwanda. I think Rwanda has been a very good example for that. Based on the the history, but like we are moving forward with the peace that we have, right? That's one thing that I think not only my country but the whole world has to learn from Rwanda. Another thing is that I really like how it's a plastic free country. People don't use plastic anywhere. So if you come here and you want to ask for plastic, just forget about it. They have something really very eco-friendly, and that is paper. It's made of paper. So even if you go to the grocery shops, or like if you go anywhere, they have like a paper bag that you can just put your stuff in and you can bring. And this is recyclable as well. So you can also use that to like throw your trash or anything. So you still use that, right? So you don't buy a plastic or anything like that. So that's something. I think even my country. So we do also have that certain area of the country, like a certain state, we have like plastic free, but not the whole country. But it's amazing how in Rwanda, like the whole country have imposed that, how do I say? There's a good way of appreciating the nature, right?
Yeah.
Another thing is that I think Rwanda is a country where it encourages healthy lifestyle, right? So the car-free day, I think every month there is one Sunday that we have a car-free day. Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah. So where half of the Sunday basically people no cars are allowed on the road. People just walk around, right? Or they jog or they run, or so that's basically a day or a half a day dedicated just for people to enjoy walking around the country and just kind of appreciate the weather, the views, everything around them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing. I think I can talk more. Like, Rwanda is just amazing. I've been really learning a lot. I've been reflecting a lot. There are so many places also people can go for hiking here in Rwanda. So if you're coming to Rwanda, guys, just look out for any announcement or any groups where they talk about hiking. So you can always form a group just overnight and just go for hiking anywhere of the hills that we have here. Yeah, and also Umugando, right? Umuganda, sorry. So that's basically it's one of the Saturday the population, basically citizens basically take to clean the country. So one thing, I mean, of many things that I appreciate in Rwanda is that it's a country that is super safe and super, super, super clean. And I'm not only saying in Kigali, which is the capital city. Usually you will see the capital city is super clean, and then you go to other part of the country and it's not clean anymore, right? But in Rwanda, it's not like that. Like even it's a small village in I don't know, in Butare or Ramagana or anywhere in Karunji, or you will see that people really value cleanliness here. They clean the street. It's hard to see I don't know, it's hard to see trash around. I don't know how this culture or way of living came as a practice. I'm still baffled about how this came as a practice among everyone in the country. It's just amazing to see how clean, how safe I feel. Everything that I see in media, it was completely opposite. When I came here, I was like, okay, no, I am never going to trust the media before going to any country. Just go and experience yourself, right? But yeah, so that's been my experience in Rwanda.
Yeah. Do you have something Rwanda should learn from your country?
Actually, I've been thinking about it. Maybe I would say Malaysia is a developing country. It has also had a very dark past where, because it's a multiracial country, but it has been trying hard to develop as well, right? And I think Rwanda is also moving towards that in terms of technology, in terms of efficiencies. For example, payments efficiencies. People are still how do I say using paper money a lot, right? And I understand, because the technology advancement does not support elimination of paper money altogether, right? But I see that Rwanda is going towards there as well with the Momo payment, USSD payment. It's very efficient and it's very helpful as well. So that's one thing I think Malaysia have done, is that to reduce the paper transaction, but go more towards electronic transaction, e-wallet and that sort, right? So yeah, so the training in terms of enabling people to use that technology advancement that we have at the moment in Rwanda, I think digital literacy or financial literacy, these are something I think we need to focus on.
As we just go to the end of this conversation, do you have that thing where you are like, you wanted to share with your friends, your family, like was like, oh, when I was in Rwanda, something happened to you, and they was like, what? Is it real? Is it normal? What is that? Why this? So do you have that thing?
Yeah, I have. Actually, it's so funny. I still laugh about it, thinking of, sometimes when I think about it. So, part of my job is also to meet farmers and, talk to them about, their needs and all that, right? So, there was one time, I think this happened when I first came to Rwanda, while I was still trying to speak in Kenya-Rwanda, right? So I did a road trip, and I think this was somewhere in Karonji. So I met some farmers, and I was just talking to them. I was trying to talk with them with the little Kenya-Rwanda that I know, and then they were also they were speaking Kenya-Rwanda with me, right? So I was so lucky that I had a translator next to me. So he was trying to translate to me, and then there was one time he just looked at me, he was just starting to laugh, right? And then I was like, what happened? Why are you laughing? Can you tell me what this person said? And then he was just looking at me and he was like, no, because she was saying that, you're a dark-skinned person as well. Like, we look the same, but why she's not speaking Kinyarwanda, I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, yeah, you're right. I should be speaking Kinyarwanda, but I am not, right? There's something that I think that is something that really motivated me to also learn Kinyarwanda, is that this is their country, right? I mean, this is Rwanda, and I have to embrace the language, embrace the culture, right?
Yeah.
So that was one incident that was very funny, but also eye-opening for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you have something we didn't mention and you'd like to share?
Not at the moment. I think I've mentioned quite a bit, but I really really admire His Excellency, Mr. Paul Kagame, the way he is really trying to bring the culture forward, trying to really bring the citizens forward, right? It can be seen in every part of the country, I would say. Even it's embedded in the people in terms of how he's leading the country. It can really be seen in how the country has brought forward from his dark past, and how he encouraged the peace within the community. And that's something that I really really appreciate as well.
Okay, so let's call it a day.
Yes.
And say murakoze cyane
Murakoze cyane, umutsi mwiza.
naho ubutaha.